Refractories. The word refractory implies resistant towards melting or fusion. Refractory refers to those materials which are able to withstand the effect of thermal, chemical, and physical effects that are not met with in furnace procedures. Whenever very high temperatures are used or involved, for example in furnaces and other electrical heating apparatus, including resistances, the refractories provide the linings, supports, and other filaments. Therefore, refractories can be said that they are those materials which are used for the construction of furnaces, kilns, ovens, crucibles, and retorts, etc., on account of their resistance to heat when they are subjected to the cutting action of flue gases, sudden changes in temperature, and to influence of slags. Refractories are sold in the form of bricks, silica, magnesite, chromite, magnesite, chromite bricks, silicon carbide, and zirconia refractories, etc. The fluxes required for binding together the particles of the refractories are kept at a minimum in order to reduce vitrification. Classification of refractories. Refractories are classified into two types on the basis of the chemical nature. Uh, Acidic refractories and basic refractories. First, we will see what are acidic refractories. Acidic refractories are those refractories which are made of clay or clay silica mixtures or of pure silica. For example, silica bricks, fire clay bricks, etc. Clay is generally used in the form of fire clay, and silica is used in the form of flint, quartz, sandstone, ganister, etc. Fire clay refractories are the chief constituent of which is silicate mineral kaolinite, Al2O3 to SiO2 to H2O. They have been widely used. Silica refractories rank next to fire clay refractories and generally are produced from quartzite and quartz pebbles, which are almost pure form of silica, that is SiO2. The second type of refractories are the basic refractories. These are those refractories which contain a large proportion of lime or magnesia or a mixture of these bases or other metal oxides. Examples are magnesite bricks, bauxite bricks, etc. Nowadays, a third type of refractory is also known, which is referred to as neutral refractories, and these are those refractories which fall neither in acidic refractories or basic refractories. Neutral refractories are those neutral products which are formed of certain aluminium silicates which contain more alumina than pure clay. Examples are chromite bricks, silicon carbide, graphite, etc. In recent years, some single oxide bricks have also been developed. They are self-bonded and have high fusion points. For example, magnesia having a temperature of 2250 degrees centigrade of fusion point, zirconia 2200 degrees centigrade, etc. Refractories are also classified on the basis of the alumina content and refractoriness. Uh, uh, it should be noted that refractoriness strictly includes all materials of pyrometric cone equivalent, uh, that is PCE, which has a value of greater than 26. Now, pyrometric cone equivalent is a measure of refractoriness of raw ceramic materials, mixtures or products. It is calculated by comparison with mixtures of known properties, that is pyrometric cones. Pyrometric cones are heat work recorders. So on the basis of pyrometric cone equivalent, refractories are classified into four types. The first type are those which have a pyrometric cone equivalent value of between 26 and 28. They are moderate in nature and next comes those which have a value between 28 and 31. They can perform work in intermediate heat duty. The third type is that which have a value of between 31 and 33. They can work in a very high temperatures. And the last category is that which has a pyrometric cone equivalent value of 33 to 34, and they perform extremely high temperatures. So we can therefore conclude that refractoriness is the capacity of a material to withstand the heat without appreciable deformation or softening under particular service conditions. And this property, that is refractoriness, is measured generally as the softening or melting temperature of the material. However, it should be noted that refractory materials generally they do not have sharp fusion temperatures. This is due to the fact that they are mixtures of various metallic oxides and other substances. Therefore, it is a common practice to determine softening temperature rather than fusion temperature. Now, let us see what do you mean by the word or the term the softening temperature. The softening temperature of refractory materials is determined by making use of pyrometric cones, also known as Seeger cones test. Now, a material can only be used as a refractory if its softening temperature is much higher than the operating temperature of the furnace where it has to be used. The inner refractory lining in a furnace is at a much higher temperature than the outer lining. Hence, unless the refractory melts away completely, it can usually be regarded to withstand a temperature higher than its softening temperature. Since the outer end of the refractory lies at a lower temperature and remains in solid state and provides the necessary strength. Refractoriness is also expressed in terms of PCE, that is pyrometric cone equivalent, and it can be determined by comparing the behavior of heat on cone of material to be tested with that of a series of Seeger cones of standard dimensions. These cones are pyramidal in shape and have a height of 38 millimeters with a triangular base with 19 millimeters long sides. They are allowed to heat under standard conditions of 10 degrees centigrade per minute, as a result of which they undergo fusion at a definite temperature. This temperature at which fusion or softening of the test cone takes place is shown by its apex touching the base. The PCE of the given refractory may be regarded as the number of standard cones which also fuse with the test cones. A refractory material should also possess a high mechanical strength even at operating temperatures, so that it may bear maximum possible load without breaking. For example, fire clay and higher alumina refractories soften gradually over a range of temperature, but they collapse under appreciable load much below their true softening points. Silica refractories, on the other hand, soften over a relatively narrow range of temperature, and they can also withstand good load even close to the fusion or softening point. Another factor which is taken into account is known as the refractoriness under load, expressed as RUL. It is generally performed by applying a constant load of 1.75 kilograms per square centimeter to a specimen of refractory of 5 square centimeter and 75 centimeter high, and then heating it in a carbon resistance furnace at the rate of 10 degrees centigrade per minute. The RUL, or the refractoriness under load, is the temperature at which 10% deformation in the refractory occurs. However, in most cases, refractories are used under compressive load. In very rare cases, they have also been used subjected to tension or stress.